Good afternoon. It is the 14th of October 2019. In this episode, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. And the last time Bitcoin dominance had a chart like this, we did some unexpected things. And in this episode, we'll also take a look at our top 10 alert signals from the past while, and we'll do some before and after views of the chart. Now, before we do, the last time Bitcoin dominance did this, you won't, it's not the expected answer. And let's jump by our disclaimer. This isn't trading advice, just market observation. Now I'll fade off this tunes and we'll jump into the main episode here. First thing I want to check is that I am streaming to the right place and that the sound is working properly. I see Dean H is here. Good evening, fellow crypto warriors. BC dominance is looking a little weak. I'm hoping for the pissing off the roof continuation formation from Bitcoin dominance. So here's Bitcoin dominance right now, and I gotta double check this chat thing that works when it wants to and just doesn't work in other times. So we've got this big empty space on the side here that is supposed to be for the live running chat, but maybe it'll turn up later in the show. And so here's Bitcoin dominance. And I know that you're thinking that I'm going to say the last time Bitcoin dominance did this, that we had a major altcoin season and everybody made $1 million or at least $500,000. And you're probably thinking I'm just going to point out this and say, oh my God, there was so much money made here. Here's another top formation. Oh my God, we're going to make so much money. But you know what? I was actually saying that right here, especially when it broke below this pattern right here. Oh my goodness, there was bucks coming, I'm telling you, and not one of them materialized. In fact, my alt went down quite a bit in value before I gave into the rationalization and said, okay, I got to flip directions because things are going the opposite direction. And so the main thing that I want to talk about today is having your risk control rules prepared for when this doesn't work the way you're expecting. So right now I am expecting that this is a top formation. We just made a head and shoulders top formation at critical levels, and that as this comes down, our alts are going to really take off. That's what I'm expecting. And I want to prepare and guard for the exact opposite, because that's what happened in the end of March and the very beginning of April. I was convinced that the alts were going to be taking off. And of course, this is the exact formation that would tell us that if indeed this was the time for it. Now this chart takes a long time to load up and I'm sort of stalling for time, but let's go on and talk about the next thing while that chart takes its time to load up. What I want to do in this episode, instead of going over the coins that we normally have been going over, the ones that are on BitMEX. Hey, here comes the chat flooding up again. Awesome. Wicked. I don't get it, but it's working. So I'll just let it go and it's working. So let's go through these before and after. And the reason I want to go through these before and after is not so that I can sell you information, because the information here is free. I give it away. The information is everywhere. You can actually go to the homepage of the website, put in your email and get the free webinar. I'll show you the complete trading system. And the reason I give you this stuff so that you go and get the free stuff is so that when we are working together here in this live stream, we're starting off at a higher level. We're starting off with more education. We're starting off with more information about what we're doing here. And I'm going to go off track a little bit, but I'm going to scroll back to some stuff from our Discord chat. Super happy to have Antranik along. Antranik is showing us what he's doing with Bollinger Band trading. Buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here. This is a very different trading style than what we are practicing and learning here in this live stream. This is a really different style. He says this is only good for sideways action. Otherwise, this trading method is a surefire way to blow out your account. And this is probably a really good complement to have to your trading basket of skills, so that you're not just relying on 1, 2, 3 bottom formations and trend reversals, because like he says, the markets go sideways most of the time. And so while it's going sideways, it's a damn good idea to have Bollinger Bands in your pocket. And so we're going to start a new relationship with Bollinger Bands in this live stream. We're going to start picking up and putting Bollinger Bands into our daily routine after today. You know how you quit any kind of habit. You're always going to start it after today. But really, we're going to put in Bollinger Bands and we'll see how that goes. In today's episode, I want to go through AMB, BAT, and all 10 of these coins, and go through the before and after pictures of this, because it is a chance to practice and teach the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. Now, where's the chat? Too many things open here, as usual. Hey, and good to have you along.org and dranic.org. We'll have to check out what you've got going on there, because I like the way you're approaching trading. Now, if you have already gone to the website and put your email address in and you have this free webinar, put a yes in the chat. Let me know how many educated people I'm dealing with. I want to know that you are ahead of the game and that I can skip a whole bunch of explanation. You guys have the details. You're going to be educated enough to know if these pro alerts are going to save you a ton of time every single day, or if the bull market watch spreadsheet might be just all you need. And if not, then you should have enough information with the free stuff to do it on your own. And that's what my goal is, that you have enough information to do this on your own. So here we go. This is the before shot for AMB. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, break of the downtrend line. Look at these volume patterns setting up here. And so I set the entry, because the pro alerts don't just do the 1, 2, 3 bottom. We have a few variations. We put the entry down pretty close above the prices here. Now let's go see the after price for AMB. And I got to zoom into the 12-hour bar time frame. So here is our bottom formation that we saw setting up here. And this is where we put in our order. And so now we have our stop just above our entry, and we are sitting on some really nice profits. Now I've got the memory of a fish, so I have to go back and look. It's 93% profit. I want to know your answer now. There is a link to the a poll down in the description below the video. I don't know if you get to see it or not yet, but I want you to go and answer that poll. Would you, overall, if this was your portfolio right this minute, would you take profit on this? Or would you hold? This is the big question. Love Bollinger Bands. Dean H. Same thing can be done with EMA indicators. I've been looking to test trading EMAs. You bet. Hey, Trader Ratuto. Good to have you along. Signed up for the email, but not receiving it yet. Oh my goodness. I've had a few people say that to me. So if you are on that email list, I'll send out another blast with all of the information. And if you haven't got it there, then I will pin that free webinar in our Discord chat, so that there's no question. If you come and join our Discord chat, you get access to it one way or another. Come and join us and get it. So now let's go on. Basic attention token. We got in out of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation out of the 4-hour bar time frame. Our entry price was 1981. So here was the chart pattern that got sent out to our alert subscribers. What was the date on this? September the 18th at 3:11 p.m. This was identified and sent out, and you can see the clear 1, 2, 3 bottom. It's actually, I would say this alert is kind of a little bit late, a few hours late. Could have been earlier. But here's what it was beforehand. Now let's go look at the after screenshot. I don't have it ready. Basic attention token. Star that one. Zoom in to the 3-month view. So here is our bottom formation. This one wasn't all that easy actually. So we got our trigger here, and because our stop loss was below the number 3 point, we were able to ride this out, an important part of the trading plan. Now we're at this profit level. Would you take profit on this, or would you hold on this coin? Let's go on to the next one. I'm going to getting way too many things opened up here. IOTX. So I hold down the control key and click on that, and it brings up the chart. Here's our before chart. And again, here's the date. On the 18th, later in the day, this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation is setting up, and it's the volume candles that's waking me up to it. And so let's go see what the after screenshot was for IOTA. IOTX or IOT? Yeah, X. So it was this bottom formation here that we watched in for, and because it exploded out when we were ready for it, we were able to catch that. It's a nice clean one. We could put our stop loss above our entry and doing good on this one. So hold. That is a perfect rounding bottom with a small handle. Let's go back to basic attention token. It is such a beautiful chart pattern. It really is. It's a thing of beauty. Many of the chart patterns that we're seeing right now are indeed things of beauty. And I want to point out something in this beautiful cup with handle setup here. Inside we have our little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We have the exponential moving average crossovers. It's just got everything. Of course, if we went and looked at the relative strength index and the on-balance volume and all of those, I'm certain it would be giving us just praise all over the place. But the thing I want to point out is that this is an exact upside down copy of this. If I get the time frames correct and match them up properly, Bitcoin dominance on average, let me invert this. It is the same as many of these alts. So look at this, almost identical to basic attention token right now. The thing is, there are a whole generation of coins that made this 1, 2, 3 bottom here, and then they flagged off. They just went soft and didn't do anything. A bunch of them came down to these levels and went soft. But there are a percentage of the coins that took off and really made some great gains, and that's what we were able to capture here. And part of the reason is that we have this ongoing patron bull market watch spreadsheet. And so if we go over to Binance Bull Market Watch here, we're looking back to July every day, 3 a.m. update by Chandra, 3 a.m. update by Chandra, 4 a.m. update by Doug, 4 a.m. update by Chandra. And we're going through every single market on Binance and color coding them so that we know when the bull market is starting to come. And here we can see in August that we were getting the teaser. There was a few markets in alert statuses, and some of them even went into hold status for a little bit before they went into exit status. So we that knew to get out of these markets, even though they were just setting up a little bit. We knew in August to get out of them that they weren't setting up properly yet. And this is one of the things that I think is essential for my own trading, that I log in to check this every single day. If I don't fill this out, if I don't have this information, I feel like I'm really missing out on the overview of the entire market. Not only the overview for today, but you can see which of the coins were the ones to be getting into, to be watching for back in August. So that's one of the reasons we were able to nail all of these coins, is by having the general outlook, like the bird's eye view of the entire market. And then we could zoom in to be doing specific entry details like this formation that we could recognize and put our trading plan into action. So that was KNC. Let's go over to KNC and look at the chart for this. Again, it is just a classic beauty. A classic beauty. And one of the great things about trading this is that once you get into it, they trend for a long time. The cryptocurrencies are crazy for their ability to trend once they get going. So once we find the trend, we just cannot argue with it. We really have to be going with it and plan to be building your positions for it. This is what we did here. We were able to see this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, get into our position at the right time, and now it's up some really nice profit. Would you hold this now? Is this really nice profit, or would you sell it? Is Bitcoin going to be taking off and crushing all the alts down now? Let's go on and do a couple more before and after screenshots here, because for my own part, I hope this is giving you more neural connections, more gray matter pattern recognition building for a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So here is lend, 1, 2, 3 bottom, break of the downtrend line, exponential moving average going to cross over. We see a couple nice big candles of volume setting up at the bottom here, which for me is accumulation pattern. We also know that many times the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation doesn't work out and it turns into the pissing off the roof formation. So we really want to be careful at this point. So we'd start off with a small position, and if it proves us correct, we'd add on to it. But let's go and take a look at the chart for lend afterwards now. It doesn't look that impressive when you're out in the far distance, but as we zoom in on this, we can see how these candles gave us the prior warning that this stuff was all setting up to go here. We had this 1, 2, 3 bottom, we had a bit of a round up and it pulled back. Then we set our alert with our exit. As prices came up here, it tagged us in and it pulled back and didn't hit our stop loss. So now that the price has gone up above our entry, our stop has just been reset so that it is above our entry, and this trade finally makes it to stage 3 of our trades, maybe almost to stage 4 of our trades. And if you haven't gone to the website and put your email address in to get the free webinar so that you understand stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 of the trade, you owe it to yourself to go and get that free training. Now here we're taking a look at MDA. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that's not quite clean, but we had so much volume picking up on this sideways, and this was a pre-pump preparation for me. This is one of the patterns I look for at the very bottoms here, that if it does a big move up and pulls back and consolidates a bit, it's like the train taking off and coming back and letting me get on. I can start off with a smaller risk here, and I can add on to it quickly if it is proving me correct. So if we go and take a look at MDA price chart now, did I skip link? How did that happen? So we see what MDA did right off of that consolidation pump. We got our signal in place, and boom, when it took off, we could put our stop loss above our entry and sit on our hands. So the great thing is with this trading plan is that we are filtering it with different stop levels than just the color-coded spreadsheet. This gets a little bit more personal review and adjustment as the markets are going. So it's not quite as clear and simple as the color-coded spreadsheet. So let me go back to the chat here, because I love the perfect rounding bottom. Nothing like a perfect round bottom. Breakout is coming. Smash the like, guys. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. Now, Tradervertuto is asking, is IOTA BTC possibly going up? IOTX, let's get rid of let's go to IOTA. And yes, it is possibly going up. In fact, given the chart pattern it has here, I would be preparing for it to go up. Especially, I got to flip this again, especially if Bitcoin dominance is indeed breaking below these levels and you're watching this happen. I would give much more weight to all of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations breaking out from this. Everything, everywhere. And so when I go and look at any chart that's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom and it's timed at this very same time that Bitcoin dominance is breaking, I would go, yeah, lay it in. This is the time you're not going to knock on the door with your knuckles. You're going to lean against it with your shoulder. Let's go to link, because we do have, link right here. We got in at 00018 and we're up 61%. Did I do this one already? I thought I would have remembered going over link, because it was a late entry signal. It made the 1, 2, 3 bottom. I should have been putting that alert out at this break. And so I said, recommend a limit order placed below the current price. So I was anticipating that it would come back and then tag us in. So it's kind of a different entry order and some of the more advanced stuff that we go over in our course trading, so that you are not buying in on a market order when the price is breaking out of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Let's go and take a look at what link did after this. Oh, here it is. So there's our entry at the 00018 odd, and link prices have gone up considerably. Now we have a potential double top. Would you sell this, or would you hold now that we are at these levels? Is this something that you would take profit on? If you had been into this trade at 18 odd and you were up to here, would you take profit on this? And it's sort of a running, I want to know. I actually want to know the answer. It's not something that that there's right or wrong to, because there's a time and a place for everything, almost everything. We got Ren here with a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up after a nice pullback, right back to historical levels that we see from back in May and June. Like, this did a really good run up here. Percentage-wise, that's huge. What, that double, triple in price? All the way back to give us another chance. And if it's making a 1, 2, 3, and everything else is making a top formation, Bitcoin dominance is doing its thing, I just got to do it. So let's go and take a look at Ren. There is the entry. And it's not a mystery entry. It's a clear signal. It's the thing I want to provide to people isn't the information. I want to give the information away for free. I want you to download my free training. I want you to watch the free videos, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It does make a difference. It makes me happy. But the course that I teach and the alerts that we have isn't about the information. It's about transforming the way you're trading. If you're not trading successfully, something has to change. You have to do something differently. I want to transform the way you're feeling about trading. And I want you to consider what some of these beneficial outcomes will be if you were to take this information and find a practical way to put it into action. Because that's what's going to actually take your technical analysis knowledge and turn it into something. So when you think about those beneficial outcomes after you're done, what would the difference be in the way you're approaching your trading? Maybe you wouldn't be having the same problems you're currently facing in your trading. You wouldn't have indecision. There would be you'd be more confident in your long-term time frame. You wouldn't spend so much time watching the charts. You would be letting your money work for you rather than you working for your money. And if you were successfully doing this kind of thing in your trading account, if you had jumped into this back in early September and you were doing these trades, what would this mean for your account? What would the difference be for you? How would that transform the way you feel about your trading, the way that everybody around you feels about your trading? It's a difficult road to hoe for sure. And so this is to take care of part of the work for you, make it easier for you, give you a guide to follow along with to help you transform your success, not just give you more information, because there's all the information out there in the world, but if you don't have a practical way to apply it and a guide to help you along, you're likely to be trading the wrong way. So let's take a look at this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation as it's shaping up. Now we can go and look at the chart for RLC and see what actually happened after that. So here we have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaped up. It all crossed over, and this just moved up nice and easy and slow without any, fuss or noise in this. It's building its way up. Now, would this be something you would hold in your portfolio, or would you sell it? Because this is, if we're going back to the free training, we're going back through this trading system. We're going through all 5 stages of the trade is what you will learn when you take that free training. And you will know by looking at these charts which stage of the trade are we in. We got the 1, 2, 3 bottom. We got the breakout pattern. So this is stage 1, just before we get in. We're planning it all out. The stage 1 is what you get taken care of for you in our alerts package. All that's done for you and provided for you and given to you so that you can just log in, download the information, get the live alerts as they're actually occurring. It's all provided. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is actually when you put the trade on. And stage 3 is just before you are adding on to the trade. Stage 4 is where you're adding on to the trade if it's successful. Some trades go right from stage 2 to stage 3 and right into stage 5, which is they top out and they come down and they tell you to get out. And let's see if we quickly find some stage 5 coins. I'll go right to today's view, and we have some stage 5 coins in MTL. And from what stage 1 planning, Stage 2 holding, stage 3, and stage 5. It didn't have a chance for stage 4. Let's go take a look at MTL. MTL. Yeah. So it had the break of the downtrend line. It had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It broke above that. We were able to get our stop loss just above our entry after prices went up, and it came down and kicked us out. So we had stage 1 as we planned it, stage 2 as we got in, stage 3 just after we moved our stop loss up, but it didn't have a stage 4. It just went right to stage 5 and kicked us out of the trade. Good. I want to now watch for a different opportunity to get in, but if it made a 1, 2, 3 bottom and then failed below the number 2 point, I don't want that. Okay, I was wrong. And this wasn't the right one to get into. And of course, our trading system filtered that out, which is phenomenal because we stayed in the ones that made sense and are making profit, and we didn't hold the ones that pulled back. Just a natural part of the way the trading system is put together. So one more chart here. Let's look at VIB. I'll go back to my favorites. Got this prepared in advance. So VIB wasn't, well, it's not done yet. But look at this, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation setup, break of the downtrend line, exponential moving average crossover. We got our stop loss up above our entry. Our job is done. Now we sit back and wait. And we'll talk about, this is in stage 3 of the trade now. And we'll talk about stage 4 in some of these coins. But so far, as I went through each of these, I'm not seeing stage 4 set up. Depending on where you get in on this, I'm not seeing stage 4 yet. No. No. Nope. Not yet. No. I don't know if this is one of our coins or not. REN? No, not stage 4 yet. RLC? No, not stage 4 yet. VIB, not stage 4 yet. So all of these coins are not ready for stage 4. Tune in over the next while as these ripen up, then I'll point out stage 4 when we hit it. And if you want to know more about those, head over to the website and sign up. Then you'll already know what stage 4 is. You'll know what it is, but then the practice is to know when it is and what to do with it, how to play it. All right, now let me go back to the chart here. No, the chat. FET. So let's go take a look at FET and Link. Now, if you have any requests, I'll be happy to go through them, but I wanted to start off the episode here today and focus on the fact that you can learn this stuff and you can do this. And I've closed the wrong chart here, page. So not only can you do this stuff, all the information is there. It's provided. It's free. I want to hear your success stories. I want to have your subscription. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Join us on Discord. Bring your questions. The questions are the most important thing. I started doing this course and teaching this stuff back in 2015, and I've taught thousands of people. And the best thing for me is the questions that I get from people who come in and they are doing a different trading system. They have been unsuccessful in their trading. They're just new to trading. And they ask questions that are awesome because you don't really know something until you can explain it to somebody else so that they know it. And so I'm very happy that I'm working with AOL Chandra, and she is taking care of a lot of the Binance spreadsheet. This is proof and evidence, step by step, day by day, that this is a learnable system. You can learn it, you can learn to implement it, and I can teach it to you. IOTA at stage 4. Let's go. I got to go to FET first, and then I'll go back to IOTA. FET. Look at the volume in that. Even before I zoom in on this, looking at the daily view after this has come down all this way, of course, I like to see things at historical lows, and this doesn't have any history, so this is it. This is the historical lows. And to see this kind of volume stepping up tells me that other people know something about this coin that I have no clue. And I'm probably not going to know 1% of everything that I should be knowing about the fundamentals and the projects and everything like that. And I don't need to know any of it. Once we have a formation setting up like this, maybe you could, put in just a little wee bit of something on this to start off with. I don't know when it's going to be taking off, but the fact that the volume is picking up like this means that there are institutions purchasing this stuff at a much greater rate than you and I could probably purchase. To look at that volume, that's just huge. So that it's made these candles and pulled back is kind of bearish for the immediate term. I don't like them. They're exhaustion wicks. Every time I've seen them, I think, oh, they're pre-pump candles, but they could be exhaustion wicks. They could be big players clearing out the order books. We have a whole bunch of sell orders up above the markets, and they are just going, thank you. Here, I got $2 million that I'm supposed to purchase this stuff with, so let me just clear out the order books and buy what I want, and then I'm off to holidays, because I know that in a year and a half from now, this is going to be worth 4 times the amount of money. I'm going to be getting a huge bonus in my trading portfolio management, so I don't care, really. If it's, how an institutional investor might approach this. And then for the rest of us, I'm almost wanting it to finish a different 1, 2, 3 and come back a little bit after this yet. But to stop myself from FOMO-ing on this, I might put in just the smallest little bit, $5, $20, $100, whatever is small to you, like not even 1/2% of my overall portfolio. I would put a little bit into this. Now I know I'm building a percentage gain if it does start to take off, and I've got a little cushion to be able to put a bigger trade on here later when stage 4 actually sets up, which we haven't seen yet in these charts. So IOTA, I don't think IOTA is stage 4. If I go back to IOTA, there's very few that are actually stage 4. No, IOTA is not stage 4. IOTA is just breaking out. Now, stage 4 may be different for you than for me. And I'll point out again, this method of trading sideways markets is completely different than the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation trend following approach. The 1, 2, 3 bottom trend following approach usually is focused on a diversified portfolio across all of the alts when it's alt season, and you unfold that portfolio when alt season's finished. When you're trading something like the Bollinger Bands, you are in and out a lot more often. So you're looking for smaller moves, looking to buy here and get out here. With the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation trend following, we're trying to just take action here and nothing else until here. Nothing. All of this stuff we filter out. We don't want to pay attention. We want to go outside and play. We want to go and walk a dog. We want to go out for dinner. We want to clean the house around us. We want to do other things. We want our money to be working for us, not us working for our money. So for my own part, if I get into the Bollinger Bands and I'm jumping in and out, oh my God, it just takes up so much time. And I, for my own part, haven't found a way to be super profitable at that like I can with this trend following method that takes so much less time and effort. I talk about trading every day. I do the live streams every day, but I certainly don't trade every day. I am a trend follower, and so on a day like this, I am selling out of many different coins. As this is happening, our trend is being broken across all of the coins. In February, and then here again at the beginning of April. We're breaking down more. Everything is crossing all of the formations. I'm getting out of many of my trades here, selling and selling and selling, going, shit, I think it's going up, but I got to sell. And then these times I'm doing quite a bit of work because there are so many little markets that I'm putting a bit into this one, a bit into this one, a bit into that one, waiting for stage 4 so that I can add on to the correct ones and knowing that I want to get out of the ones that are not proving me correct. We're not out of the woods yet, with Bitcoin in the background giving any tick up at all, while Bitcoin dominance is in this position, the same thing that we saw back here. I want to be super careful. I want to be super paranoid. We have this beautiful top formation, and it broke below. It even gave us this beautiful wick. It looked so fantastic. And that's the moment it was time to be going the other way, even though it looked like it was just going to rock and roll for us. So now I'm paying close attention to whether it's going to rock and roll for us. And even if it does, I'm still watching for getting out on all of these alts. So when I go over to IOTA, it's looking great, but it is not a stage 4. And I'll talk about stage 4 as they come up, but they're not here at all yet. And when you look back and you see stage 4 and you look back at this and you'll go, oh, it's a real, hopefully it's an aha moment that your eyes go wide and you start to think, this can actually transform not just my profits, but my free time. It transformed the muscle tension across my shoulders from sitting at these charts all the time. It'll transform my FOMO jumping in and out, going long on the market because it looks like it's going up, and then it pulls back, so I get out of my long and I go short in the market, inviting whipsaw. It's a killer when you're getting into these close time frames in the charts. This is murder zone. This is feeding zone for the sharks and the whales. So as soon as you are dipping your toe in here, especially if you're too large with your trade, you need to transform the way you're approaching trading entirely. It'll take a whole new approach, a whole new way of thinking, and you just can't switch it. It's like going to take a karate class and say, now I know karate. No, you know without me telling you that it's going to take you 3 to 5 years of going to class 2 or 3 times a week for an hour and a half and learning these karate skills and practicing them and repeating them until they become reflexive. And that's what we're doing in this trading program, is that we're not just giving you the information, we're there for you to rebuild the way you're thinking and feeling about trading and money in general. So that's what this is all about, and that's why I invite you over to the website to see our results. This is pre-planned. We did this ahead of time, and here we're coming up to some enormous profits. All the stuff you can do, you can learn it, and we can help you. If it'll help you, come and join with the Altcoin Bull Market Watch for the color-coded spreadsheet, or come and get the Pro Alert Signals. There's a lot going on there. And I see others charging $295 a month for the Pro Signals that cover everything in Binance. We get a much better deal. Some phenomenal results here too. Now, end of sales pitch for today. Let me go on to BNB is even prettier. BNB is even prettier. I'm pretty poo-hoo BNB, but if the chart does it, I trade it. Last time I got out way too soon. Look at this, keeps sticking in the chart too, just to remind me over and over again where I bought in and where I took my profit. Completely not following my trading rules. If you look at the exponential moving average, it didn't cross over. I way got out too soon, and I've had to learn this lesson over and over again and repeat this lesson over and over again for my future self. So this did make a nice rounded bottom, but in the size aspect of it, it didn't make, and it's not as pretty. 1, 2, 3. It is a 1, 2, 3. It did go above these levels. If I move into the 12-hour time frame, it's conforming. It's conforming nicely. So now we have the 1, 2, we have the number 3. The exponential moving average has just crossed over. So we're coming up to stage 2 of the trade right now out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom. And so this is the stage 2 is one of the highest risk control rules area. This is where you can make the most transformational difference in your trading, is right here. It's correcting the mistakes that most people make in stage 2 of the trade. So if you don't know exactly which of those mistakes are that I talk about, that people always make and that I make all the time at stage 2 so often that I made up extra rules and information about for myself so that I double check everything at this time to make sure I'm not making those 2 different trading mistakes. It's the worst time for me right at this stage of the trade. Go and check that out. Make sure you're not making that mistake that I always make at this stage of the trade right now at this very moment when it makes this exact chart pattern. Boom, BNB. Awesome. All right, so that runs us through all the coins that I wanted to go through. I wanted to do the before and after so that we can document it. And then you can go over, take that free training. You'll know this 1, 2, 3 formation. You're starting to be ahead of the game. And I'm going to want to hear your success stories. And if you find that I can help you out at all, come on over to our Discord chat and ask questions, because it helps everyone if we can get those questions. Discord is that way. Actually, no, it's down in the description down below. Click on Discord, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see you on the next episode, where we'll go back to our coins that we're reviewing, the margin traded coins on BitMEX. And we're going to add in Bollinger Bands. So we'll do 5 indicator set next live stream. It might be a longer one. We'll see how that plays out, but we're going to start courting Bollinger Bands next time. So hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys over on our Discord button, Discord channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Let me find the finish button here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, crypto Kerbit. I gotta go over Ripple, because normally Ripple, this is one of the things on our normal stream that we do here, is Ripple is in here, and I don't have Ripple. Here we go. The Ripple. Oh, okay. Let me go over to our Discord chat and pull up Ripple, because we have a specific thread just for Ripple. And what was it? Yesterday? I don't know if this is, but anyway, Sunday. Yeah, that's yesterday. We put out what I say is our first Nitro trade entry alert. So this is an inside view of what you get inside our alerts package. So you get these details inside Discord. So we talked about a Nitro add-on spot in this. This would be stage 4. I'm calling it Nitro here, but really it's a variation of stage 4. And so what happened here is that we had an earlier signal to get in out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation way back here. So it's up 15%, or maybe it was out of this formation right in here. So it's up 15% on that earliest entry. And then we talked about adding a leveraged trade on for our Nitro signal as this came back. And let me zoom back up to this chart and click on it. Open original. Does this work nicely? It did. So you can see here that we have a parallel channel upward. As this came back to the bottom of that parallel channel, it's kind of a Bollinger Band add-on, kind of a spring trade entry add-on, that at this moment, with all of the chart patterns and the indicators that we had, it was a place to consider taking a leverage trade to add on to your initial entry. So I'm pretty excited about Ripple from where we are. And I've lost Ripple. I'm excited about it from where we are, but I'm not as excited to put on a margin trade on it right now. It was only good at this moment. And now I would have my stop loss above my entry, and I'd be sitting there kind of biting my teeth, actually, or chewing my nails, because we're up at the point where this is normally where these things fail. And I'll bet you if we put Bollinger Bands on here, it might actually show that we're at a range where the Bollinger Bander might be going short, right where our trend traders are looking to take out a long. So I'm very keen to be going over Bollinger Band starting tomorrow. Can we squeeze in Litecoin? Boom. Now Litecoin, I've been courting for a long time, and I believe Litecoin is going to go to $800 to $1,000 US in the next run of stuff that we have, regardless of what price level it is now. But since it is going to, I believe it's going to go that high, I am definitely watching for a place to be starting to scale into this and build onto my positions. Where might it go? This is such a rough guess, and it just doesn't matter, because once it starts off, I don't care how far it goes. I'm looking for the 1, 2, 3 top formation. But if it comes up to the 50% level and makes a 1, 2, 3 top formation, I want to pay attention to that more specifically. So that it's making 3 higher lows here on this over the last 2 months is really big. That it's making a 1, 2, 3 formation that is now making a little 1, 2, 3 formation right at our number 3 spot. If I clear off all this crap and zoom in, I got to zoom out a little bit more to get perspective. Okay, but here we go. Here's our big number 1. Look at this tiny little 1, 2, 3 formation right there inside that number 1 point. Could you have traded that on the 7th of September? You could have. We did a live stream right on this moment, and I said it is a tiny 1, 2, 3 on this small time frame, but I'm not trading it because it's just, I wanted a bigger 1, 2, 3, and this is where I was getting drawn into it as it was taking off out of these levels. And of course, it would have kicked me out because my stop's just above my entry. Now that it is consolidating like this, and it's making a tiny little 1, 2, 3, that it's broken up above and it's building its way above these support and resistance levels as it stages. And as it stages, part of me wants to start staging in say I've got 100% of my trade that I'm going to do. I might want to do 5%, 20%. Now I'm up to 30% of my whole trade. Maybe I want to do it so that I'm up to 50% of my whole trade by this point. And then I'm waiting for the real stage 4 right here. Now I'm going to add on the other 50% of my money. Maybe if it comes up and pulls back to these levels and does something, that's when the other 50% of my money goes on. And the reason is so that I get an average entry. Sorry about the terrible scrolling. But if I get into 50% of my position here and 50% of my position here, my average is right here, and I can have my stop loss just above my average after I put on my second part of my trade. So I'm just like as risk adverse as I can, and I'm using that first trade to protect my ass on the second trade. And then I can really open up the nitro as we're coming off of these straight stretches from a parallel channel. So I like Litecoin chart. It is definitely one I'm watching, but it wasn't one that got on our top list, that's for sure. It wasn't one that broke out of those bottom formations first. And so it was important to like it, but not hold it through this time. It was important to get kicked out of that right there and not be holding this crap sideways, because there's other things that were taking off while this just languished. And our chart patterns tell us. So the diversified pattern across more alts, scaling into those that are working and out of those that are not working, it's phenomenal and a lot of fun to do too. Matic, possible head and shoulders. Binance, under the M, give me an M. Matic. Now, would you, if you had purchased Matic right here, I don't have the spreadsheet open, but Matic was one of our signals, and we're in a profit on this to some degree. I don't know how much percentage it is, but it was a signal that we had set out here. Would you take profit on this now? This is the question I want, and it's the same question and answer for all of these different options right here. All of these, the same question. Would you take profit now from where we stand? So leave that, if you're watching the replay afterwards, leave that answer in the description down below. There is a link to the community poll thing that goes on here in YouTube, and you can answer there, yes or no. Would you hold or fold? Would you take your profits on this, take your profits and run and look for another opportunity? Or would you hold this? Ba-dum-bum. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it, but I must run. There is a wicked yoga class coming up, and I recommend it. If you haven't tried hot yoga, put it onto your bucket list. It's a great thing to do. Let me sign off now. And the last time Bitcoin dominance did this, I lost a lot of money because it faked me out and altcoins went down instead of up. So let's pay attention that we don't get faked out. Cheers. Good luck in your trading. I'll see you on Discord.